Welcome to the Everyday Board Game Podcast with Daniel.
And Daniel.
And today we are doing another one of our top 8 debates. The top 8 animal games. Not a publisher, not a designer. We're finally going with kind of a theme, I guess.
There's animals involved?
Yeah, as long as there's animals involved in the game. Now, so before we get into the honorable mentions, we want to have a quick caveat because some of the games we had to take off of the list, and we want to say why we did. Of course, as always, our requirement is Daniel and I have both had to have played the game and be fairly familiar with it. Not just like a quick demo and like 3 years ago that we forgot. So the ones that are here are the top 8 highest ranked on Board Game Geek under the animal family, not a specific animal, but animal family, that we have both played, so we can argue it adequately. But there was one that would have been number 3.
Yes, and it's part of my honorable mentions, and also in the fans' honorable mentions. But the thing is, for us here, the number 1 game on the list, neither one of us have played. Our number 1 seed was actually second on that list. I have it pulled up, and I can tell you what that game is.
Okay.
Quite quickly, once I can get to the page. Sometimes I wish pages would give you the numbers on top as well as the bottom, just to make things so much easier to jump to.
Wouldn't it?
So, the BGG number 1 was Great Western Trail, and I guess because of the cows that are involved in it is.
Sure.
So there was another game that should have been on the list. We both decided that it will not be on the list because it doesn't justify being on the list, and that was Jaipur.
Yeah. Yeah, and that's because, yes, there are camel cards, right? But they are just a commodity. That's all they are. They're used for trading. You don't use them for any benefit that a camel would be. It's not an animal-based game. Now, there's one other in here that does have some animals in it that's a little less thematic. We'll get into that with the debate. And also, there was both Caverna and Agricola. And as always with these lists, we feel like we need to focus on which one focuses more on animals, which was Caverna in our opinion. So that if you see that Agricola is not on the list, that's why.
Yeah, and also we didn't want to do 2 basically similar games. Agricola and Caverna tend to be a lot alike. They're compared to each other. Caverna basically is the pseudo-sequel streamlining of Agricola.
Yeah.
And so it was just easier, and we both agreed that Caverna had more to do with animals per se than Agricola does.
Right. And also you want to see us debate against other games. If you like Caverna, you're probably going to like Agricola or vice versa. They're so similar enough. I mean, that would be like us saying, if you like what's the one I'm thinking of? The one with the island from Stronghold Games. Survive. That's it. There's Survive and there's Survive Space Attack. Well, if you like one, you're going to like the other. If you like one love letter, you're going to like probably many of the others.
Basically, you can look at, say, like Clank. You have Clank and then you have Clank in Space. It's just what's your love? Which one do you want?
Yeah.
Do you want space or do you want fantasy? That's all it really is. It's pretty much the same game. I know Clank in Space tends to be more streamlined, but it's the same game.
Right. It's like we all like ice cream, but do I like chocolate? Do I like strawberry? The same idea. So that's going to be part of our debate. Since it's about
flavored. That's
animals,
where it's at.
Coffee flavored ice cream. Do you actually like that?
Oh yeah, I have a Tillamook ice cream right now that I've been munching on called Coffee Almond Fudge. So good.
You know what is surprisingly good, and you've probably had it. Green tea ice cream.
I'm okay with it. I'm not a huge fan of that green tea matcha flavor.
Yeah.
I like it as tea. I'm not a huge fan of it in like sweet stuff per se. Just because for me, I don't drink my tea sweet. I drink unsweetened tea. So when I get it in that creamy sweetness, it just doesn't feel right to me. Yeah, exactly.
Yeah. Not a sponsor. Yeah. No, I completely agree.
Pickwick isn't sponsoring us either. I just ran out of coffee, so I had to go pick up some at the the convenience store right down the road for me.
So yeah, this was a interesting list to do because every one of my honorable mentions, I would like look over at my board game shelf and I'd be like, ooh, what about Rakeholt? Like, wait, no, that doesn't have animals in it. What about Pioneer Days? Well, it has cattle. That's about it. But then
Yeah.
and then even one of the games that popped into my mind was Quacks of Quedlinburg. And I started laughing because I was like, just because it has the word quack in it doesn't mean that there's animals in
Doesn't
it.
mean it's ducks, all right?
And there's spiders in it, but technically.
But spiders aren't considered animals.
Right. And then, yeah, that's true. And I also don't consider, like, say, tiny towns. Like,
Yeah, same with me. I was thinking about putting it on my honorable mention, but honestly, unless you look closely at the cover,
yeah,
it's a building game. It's all it is spatial awareness,
right.
Building. Their animals have really nothing to do with it other than it's in the artwork.
Yeah, and then most games, like, where it's like, oh, well, it's just a normal economic game or a Euro game, but you happen to be animal characters. Like, that's cool and all, but at the same time, that's kind of disingenuous. Unless it's Mice and Mystics, because they really do play into that. Like,
Yeah.
oh, I'm going to go get some cheese and berries over here, you know?
So, there is a game that was on this list that when I was going through it just to find honorable mentions that I do want to play, and that's Raccoon Tycoon.
Oh, yeah.
It's an animal economic game that I heard is actually really, really good, and I do want to give it a shot.
There's one that I saw on the honorable mentions list that I own, and I just haven't gotten to the table, and that's Root, that I really want to try.
I do want to try that one.
Yeah.
But asymmetric games just have a tendency to be really hard to get to the table because when you're trying to teach it that kind of game, you have to teach the basic gameplay, but then the individual has to learn how his thing is supposed to play.
Right.
Because the way my character plays is going to be different than the way your character plays.
Yeah.
Is going to be different than the way, say, Dom or Bryce's characters are going to be played.
Yeah, it's best to just
Excuse
start
me.
at 2 players, learn the ins and outs, and then try it with the other. I agree. So, shall we get into this? Let's talk about the honorable mentions.
So before we start our honorable mentions, as I said earlier, we don't have any games that we've played so far this week. Are there any games that you want to get to the table?
Yes. So I have been researching a lot into Jorvik and Amerigo, both 2 Stefan Feld games that I'm very excited to get to the table, as well as I am working on a prototype right now, and I'm doing playtesting, and I've been wanting to get that to the table. I've gotten it to the table once this week. No one in my family has tried the game yet. I feel like they would be all right at it, but like it's not quite their flavor, so we'll see.
Yeah.
But that's one thing that I'm going to be testing out quite a bit.
Yeah, for me, there's a couple games that I want to get off my shelf of shame, of course. I do want to play. I want to play the new Back to the Future game from Prospero Hall and Funko.
Yep.
Tom Vassel's review of it is glowing, and he said the exact same thing he said for Horrified, which has me really intrigued, because Horrified was one of my favorite games last year. And that game came out, August? So at last half of the year, it jumped into, like, my top 2 games of 2019.
Yeah. You know what's interesting about it? So, Tom Vassell hit it he hit it right on the head of the nail.
You really have trouble with that saying.
I'm just going to say it wrong and different every time. He really hit the head on the nail. What he did is he said, he was like, you took the first movie and you take all of the time travel stuff and you just get rid of it.
Yeah.
Because every other game that's talking about Back to the Future, it's how you go through time and cause paradoxes, and it's really messy and just not pleasant. Where the movie really wasn't about that. It was
the second movie was more about the actual time traveling and the paradoxing and stuff like that. Where the first movie was just he got stuck in the past and tried to make his parents fall in love because he was disappearing because of something he did in the past. And spoiler alert, I don't want to ruin it for you guys if you haven't seen it. What the hell?
Yeah. What's stopping you? Go do it now. No.
Such a great movie. And to the fact that when that movie came out, or recently, when 2015 came around, which is the time he goes into the future, which was in October, me and my wife drove to El Paso because they played the trilogy at the movie theaters at, I think, Alamo Drafthouse or something like that, and we watched all 3 movies.
Right. Well, that makes me nervous about the Dice Through Time game that's also coming out through Ravensburger.
Yeah, I did see it, and it looks interesting, but with the
Yes.
time travel mechanism in it, it has me a
Yeah.
little worried, but I don't think it's going to be as bad as we're assuming. Because I think they actually smartly did the time travel. It's just, what happens is you create too much paradox, you end the game. And
Yeah.
basically, if you cross someone or something like that, so you're going to try to move it up, but you're also going to try to keep it down and mitigate some of the stuff you do. It doesn't look horrible, but I really want to get to Back to the Future to the table. The
Yeah.
other one, I want to get Western Legends to play more than a two-player version.
Mm-hmm.
And last one I want to get to the table is The Shining, another Prospero Hall game that I really want to try.
Somewhere, I think my copy is like right.
It's right
there.
above your shoulder.
Right above my shoulder. Oh yeah. Yep. There it is. You know, talking about Prospero Hall and movies that should be games, or you know what? I can't believe I didn't think about this during our podcast when we actually filmed it. You know, it would be a phenomenal game if Prospero Hall did it.
What's that?
Blues Brothers.
That actually would be quite fun.
Right?
I mean, they've done a musical game with keeping it sexy. I think they could do really good with Blues Brothers.
Yeah, I mean, like I'm just on a mission from God, trying to get the money to the orphanage. You know, that'd be awesome.
Of which, there was one game I think, or one IP that I think would be hilarious if Prospero Hall did, because they could do the hilarity as well as the thing is, and it's a crude show, and I'm not gonna lie, but it's South Park. Just the satirical humor of South Park with Prospero Hall's ability to bring that out in gaming would be so much fun.
I thought you were going to say The Office, actually.
I'm not a fan of The Office, shockingly. Yeah. I've only watched the first season, didn't enjoy it. I know my wife and some friends that keep telling me just skip the first season, go in the second. I've seen some clips that actually made me laugh, and I do want to watch it. But a big part of it is I was a huge, huge fan of the UK Office.
Oh, okay. Yeah, if you like the British humor in that, it's worth it. I recently subscribed to BritBox. I enjoy
like Ricky Gervais, so.
Oh yeah, if you want some good British humor, get the subscription to BritBox. It's another streaming service. It's like $7 or $8 or something. It's not much, but then watch a bit of Fry and Laurie, and that's Hugh Laurie and Stephen Fry, and I guess it was a sketch comedy thing that they did in the early '90s, and it's pretty great. It's just them dialogue, but it's good.
I still recommend that you need to watch the IT Crowd. It's a hilarious, hilarious show.
All right, we'll definitely do that. Then I watch IT Crowd if you watch a bit of Fry and Laurie.
Yeah, the only thing is you want me to get another streaming service. I cut cable for a reason.
No,
I don't want to be paid for more things.
I'll just go over there and I'll stream it. It's like 6 episodes, and they're like 30 minutes each, and that's all.
Well, I like both Stephen Fry and Hugh Laurie, so I'm not going to deny it. But we're getting a little off topic here, so let's go ahead and start the honorable mentions.
Speaking of Fry and Laurie, let's talk about animals. My honorable mentions, first off, was one of the Spiel winners, actually. Can you guess which one?
God, there were so many Spiel winners.
Yes, but this is absolutely animal focused.
Spiel de Jaris or Kennerspiel?
Spiel de Jaris.
Camelot?
It is not. I knew you were going to say that. It is not that one, though. This one won in 2005, right after Ticket to Ride.
Say that again?
Right after Ticket to Ride, it won. So this one's super polarizing. A lot of people that I've shown this to, like, I don't know what it is. It's a simple drafting game, but it's very much like hate or love. Like, you either like it or you just completely loathe it for some reason. It's Zoolaretto.
That is kind of true. Yeah. I actually enjoy the game. My wife hates it with a passion.
Mine too. Like, every time I've wanted to show her a game, she says kind of the same thing. It's like, it's not going to be that dumb zoo game again, is it? It's like, what? How do you, like, have such a profound hatred towards this game? And she likes Barren Park. Like, and she likes Azul. That's, like, if you combine the two, that's what you have. You have Zoolaretto. Like, so, I don't know. I like Zoolaretto a lot. It's a cool drafting game. I like the push your luck element of it. Of either adding more to a truck or just taking it and then you're just trying to complete sets. Super smart game. That's my first honorable mention.
So my first honorable mention, I'm not going to lie, it's a big, big game. It's got a lot of fans to it. You can see the cardboard piece to it right above my head right there. And it's actually down there over on my shelf. Yep. Is Everdell. I thoroughly enjoy the game. I love animal games in general, especially those I can never say that word, so I'm just
Animeeples?
not even. Yeah, it's got animal meeples. There are so many with every expansion. I think I have like 12 or 13 different sets of animeeples in there, and it's
That's
just
cool.
redonkulous, honestly.
Oh, yeah.
But I enjoy the game. It's a simple little worker placement with a tableau build. You're trying to trying to be the better city out of all the cities, so I'm pulling things onto my table from either paying the cost there or sending workers out to pay the cost there.
Hmm.
Or to get the resources in, but I only have 2 workers in the beginning of the game, and I'm building my little tableau and have a couple cards, but I'm like, I need the resources, but there's blocking. One of the harder ones is stone. Beautiful, beautiful production of the game.
Yeah.
This is probably one of the most gorgeous games. I even just did the recent Kickstarter, got all in, and I even got a wood tree, an actual wood tree instead of the cardboard. That's why it's sitting on my shelf up there, is the cardboard one. Just
Yeah.
because it makes a nice little decoration.
Absolutely. Yeah, it makes sense
But
to
yeah,
make a tree out of wood.
and so just to let people know, Everdell was our largest fan vote
Yeah.
out of everything. It ran away with the fan vote. The
How many
the
votes did
game
it get?
that's got our top vote is 20 points below it, and that is I'm not going to say what game it is, but the vote total was 72 for Everdell.
Wow. Yeah, and so the only reason it's not on our list, I'll take the blame for it. I just haven't played it yet.
Yeah,
I
and I think a big part of it is I've been wanting to show it to you, but lockdown happened. I got the Kickstarter and
Mhm.
everything in it right when our lockdown started happening, and we've been socially distancing. Other than the couple times we filmed here,
Yeah.
due to just the need for it because of the
Right.
special guests that we've been interviewing.
There was one comment that I saw in our honorable mentions list that one of the users on our list said that once they played Everdell, they sold their copy of Wingspan. That's how
Yeah,
much they liked it.
I understand what they're saying there, because it's kind of like the Tableau build, but to me the games
They're very
are
different.
completely different and do 2 very different things. I liken Wingspan more to, say, a game like Terraforming Mars before I likened it to Everdell.
Yeah, that makes sense. Cool. All right.
Your next honorable mention.
And my first honorable mention is a family weight pick up and deliver game. And the production quality on it beats almost every game I have.
Oh, interesting. A family way pick up and deliver. It's the Hedgehog game.
It's Echidna Shuffle,
Echidna
yes.
Shuffle. Yeah, there we go.
Yes. Oh my goodness. It's like $30 retail, which is super inexpensive. And you get 12 of these pretty big echidnas and bugs that go on their back and climb around on this massive board, dropping them off at tree trunks. It's awesome. It is a very simple pick up and deliver game. It can be family weight. There is a way to make it a little more gamery for gamers, where you have kind of like dice mitigation. But oh my goodness, this goes over so well. Every time everybody's played it, the only thing that I've ever heard anybody complain about it is they're like more of like I like meaty Euro games and all that stuff, and this is just too simple for me. But then they think of their family, like, well, I have a nephew that's like 5 years old. He can pick this up, no problem. If nothing else, he'll play with cool Echidna pieces, which is awesome. So yeah, Echidna Shuffle, I can't endorse it enough. I think it's an awesome game.
Yeah, no, I don't disagree. I haven't played it, but it looks gorgeous.
Yeah. It's surprising how simple it is. It's like, how did nobody think of this already? It's a really great game.
Yeah, no, I don't disagree. It's a beautiful game. I haven't played it. Want to play it. Almost won a copy, but didn't get to win it.
Well, I'll tell you what, I can bring it by tomorrow if we can. It's quick.
Sounds good.
Cool.
Also,
If I remember.
my final honorable mention here is an honorable mention that I've actually talked about before. We actually did a board game breakdown of this designer.
Phil Walker Harding?
Nope.
Feld.
Yep.
Hold on, what Feld games has he made that's animal based? Let's look. La Isla, isn't it? Yep. As soon as I saw it, yeah, okay.
La Isla was one of the first games that came to my mind. I was trying to find something that would just unseat it, per se. But the fact of the matter is, I really enjoyed La Isla. It was, to be truthfully honest, actually my first Feld game, now that I think about it, that I've ever played. Castles of Burgundy was my second Feld game. La Isla was also the first Feld game I ever owned. And I enjoy this game. I need to get to the table more often. It's not something that's ever going to leave my collection, even if I don't play it, just because it's that good. I really enjoy the economics of it, where you're trying to get your animal that you're concentrated on to be worth more than, say, someone else's animal. And what's cool about it, La Isla, these are extinct animals. You found an island with these extinct animals on it, and I really enjoyed it. I think it's one of my favorite Feld games. It's probably my top 5 Feld games that I've played.
Yeah.
For me, 1 and 2 is like 1A, 1B is Castles of Burgundy and Trajan.
Yeah.
But I think it's up there. It's like 3, 4, or 5. It's within that little window right there. I really do enjoy La Isla.
That's awesome. Yeah, it's really good. It's probably not in my top 5, but that's probably just because I haven't played it in about 2 years, at least. I'm forgetting how it works more and more as I play it. But yeah, it's a shame that it's not on this list, but these others are really good. So,
but it's also Feld, so
yeah, exactly.
He's on a lot of lists.
We're a tad biased.
Yeah.
All right, cool. Well then,
all right. So you want to get to the fans' honorable mention?
Let's hear it. We already talked about the top one.
The number 1, Everdell. We've gone over it. It was a huge, huge hit. Number 2 honorable mention for the fans, and there's going to be quite a bit here, is Isle of Cats, the more recent game. I know this bothers you, but I think a big part of it too is not just because it's cats, because it's polynomials, and that the tile placement and the puzzle aspect of it. I think why people really, really like it. The next one on our list here, as Danny, you need to come back because you actually own this game. This one is Root.
Root, yes. Yeah.
Which, by the way, I believe has cats in it as well.
No, no, it does. Because yes, you can play as the cats. But the idea with Root though is it's hugely, hugely asymmetric. I haven't played it yet, but from what I understand, each of the different animals really do kind of take on their traits. Like cats are jerks in this game. I do know that. Whereas like the vagabond, the raccoon thing, it's just one of them, and it's just kind of sneaking around, like stealing stuff. Like it makes a lot of sense.
It's interesting.
Yeah.
But it's funny because this guy that made Root is the same guy that also made Cutthroat Caverns, if I remember correctly. And they just had Leader Games, I think is who did it, but it's the Cutthroat Caverns, Root, and then they just recently had another Kickstarter where it's all his games are basically that asymmetrical style.
I think you have that mixed up with something.
Not Cutthroat Caverns.
Vast.
Vast. That's the one I'm thinking of.
Okay, yeah, because Smirk and Dagger made Cutthroat Caverns.
Cutthroat Caverns, yeah. Sorry, I was also reading Caverna, so just to have all these games going in my head.
Right.
The next one that has some votes on our list here with 3 votes is the predecessor to Evolution, our number 8 game on our list here, and that is Oceans. I heard really good things about Oceans. I wanted to back that Kickstarter, but it was just going on in a time that I couldn't back it because there's so many other games that were going on. Next on our list is the March of Ants. I've never actually played this game. This is the first time I've actually heard of it.
I mean, Ginkgopolis is the closest thing that I can think of. To that. I've never played March of Ants, so.
Oh, I should have put Micropolis on my.
Or Micropolis, not Ginkgopolis, yeah.
Yeah, Micropolis on my honorable mentions. I didn't even think of that one. I actually really do enjoy that game.
It's awesome.
But I know why I didn't think of it. Ants are insects, not animals.
Yeah, technically, yeah, sure.
All right, Danny, you're gonna. Okay, not yet. The next one is Animal Kingdoms, another game I haven't played. It might be an older game. This one, Danny's gonna walk out because it's Cat Lady.
No, I mean no. The designer, I think I met him once before. Josh Wood, seems like a cool guy. I don't know. I mean, I've heard it's good. I would try it, and then I'll probably not like it just because
it's got cats.
I mean, like we said with Justin DeWitt, if I play a cat-based game, I want it to be good as well, and that's why I feel like if I played Isle of Cats, that might be a decent chance because it does look like a game that I might enjoy, but I just don't understand why you have to put cats in it. Like it,
I'm sorry, folks, we're getting a little off topic here, but this just reminds me of the time where you had a game going to a publisher and they were
yes,
re-theming it several times. And the one that they're like, you know what we're gonna do? We're gonna do cats, and you're like, mother.
yeah, exactly. Like I mean, out of all the theme, like granted, every theme was gonna be pasted on with that game. It's a fairly themeless game. It's an abstract strategy more than less, but
Yeah,
out of 6 different iterations, it ended up being
including a Cthulhu
pretty
one.
kitty. Pretty kitty. Why?
Now, my
Why?
personal, but it's funny because you got upset with it being pretty kitty, but your original theme on it was tie dye.
Yeah. But I don't. I mean, people can like tie dye. Some people don't like tie dye, but it doesn't have rage inducing like cats can. I mean,
I
although
actually wanted to be printed as pretty kitty just for you have to sell a cat game. This is my design. I did not come up with a theme.
yeah, no, I played a video game recently about cats that's fun because it makes sense. It wouldn't make any sense out of any other theme. And it's called Cat Lateral Damage, and you're a cat jumping around the house while the humans are gone, and you have only until the time that they show up to throw as much crap off the shelf as you can and cause as much damage. Like, I mean, it makes sense thematically, and it doesn't
Right.
deny the fact that cats are jerks.
So I'm going to try to get through these next ones really quickly just
Sure.
because we're getting off topic a lot. But just thinking of the cat game made me laugh. So next one is Reef Encounter. I played Reef. I haven't played Encounter. Have you played Encounter?
Reef Encounter, is that a different version of
I
Reef
did see it
from?
on our animal list, so I just never actually played it.
That doesn't sound familiar. It's not a remake of Reef from Next Move games, right?
No, but I did see it on the animals list on BGG when I was going through the honorable mentions.
Yeah. No, I mean I have the Reef. It was a 2-player game back in the day. But yeah, no, I can't think of.
This one, it made my short list for honorable mentions, and that's Animal Upon Animal
Yeah.
from Haba. That's
Yep.
actually a really nice little stacking game, but we
Super
talked about
thematic.
it. Yeah, you're stacking things on crocodiles.
Yeah. If you had a
Next one
cat
on the-
piece, it would have like hinges and stuff and just like fall apart. Like just there's no way you can stack it.
Yeah. Next one is papillon. That's that. Say that. Try it. It's the French word for butterfly. Papillon. Papillon.
Oh, okay. Yeah, no, that one looked really neat.
Yeah, it's a butterfly game. They're an insect. I would eliminate them if we were going through this list if it made our list, just because we're going for animals, not insects.
So you would, if Mariposas was able to go on
If
this list?
Mariposas was able to go on this list, I would eliminate it. For the it's going to get a little loud. My recycle is picking up right now.
Okay.
Next is Aftermath. I didn't know there was animals in Aftermath, but okay.
Okay.
One of your honorable mentions, the one that your wife hates,
Zularedo. How many votes did that get?
One.
Hey, thank you, the one who put it in.
Well, think about it. It's actually 2 votes because one person had to put it in.
Yeah, but they auto count it. I think.
Yeah.
Yeah, so it's only one. But I do agree.
So, just some comments here real quick. Bruno said Wingspan really is a beautiful bird game and a lot of fun. He's not wrong there.
Yep.
Anna, as the one you were talking about, or not the selling, but I love both Wingspan and Everdell, but I think Animal Theme is stronger in Wingspan. She's not wrong there. It's literally just animals where you have human traits in the animals in Everdell.
Yeah.
Marco adds Wingspan is instructive also, which is true.
Yep.
A lot of the facts that are on Wingspan you'll actually find in the Audubon Society's bird books.
Yeah. Which is awesome.
And Paige added to Marco that she loves learning the little bird knowledge tidbits on the bottom of the card.
I agree.
So here's the one you were talking about, Breyer. After buying and playing Everdell, I sold Wingspan. Everdell was better in every way, in his opinion. Or her opinion, I'm not sure. Can't tell by the profile picture.
Yeah. But
Roger said Dinosaur Island, Duelosaur Island and Darwin's Choice. I don't know anything about Darwin's Choice, but Dinosaur and Duelosaur Island would have been in its own topic as dinosaur.
Yeah, you don't feel like those are animals.
Huh?
You don't feel like those are animal games.
No, to me, they would more go into the line of, like, dinosaurs themselves.
Would you count paleontological games of dinosaurs?
No.
Okay.
Because you're digging up the bones of dinosaurs. You're not really researching animals.
You go to the anatomy of them, in a way.
But again, maybe more and more stuff is coming out that dinosaurs were birds. So
yeah. Well, they were. They're all just big chickens.
Geek has a dinosaur
category.
Dinosaur category.
Right.
And the last one, Mayara. Wingspan is a beautiful bird game, very well done. So there is a lot of love for Wingspan in the comment section. Except for Briar, who's like, screw this game, get out of here.
Yeah. Well, I mean, clearly they owned it and they liked it, but they just don't have a reason for it anymore if they had Everdell for them. So, cool. Good input from all of our users. We appreciate that, and all the viewers. Let's jump into it. We're going to take
Let's take a quick break. Real quick.
Uh-huh. We're going to take a quick break real quick. And then we'll get back into our list. So hang in with us for a couple moments, and we'll be right back.